couple of years ago, I was driving my buddy and I to get some Sonic. We were driving and we were going through our old neighborhood when I saw this couple standing outside of their door and they were just fighting. I mean, fist fighting to the death. It was insane. I pulled over and I got a closer look, and that look showed me that the woman was beating up the guy.
What?
Right? Any normal guy would be like, oh, okay, that's totally fine. At least the guy isn't beating up the girl. But what was running through my mind was, we gotta go save that guy for gender equality. So then I start running outside of the car and my buddy calls to me, don't do it, bro, don't do it. And I turn around and I'm like, why? Why not? We're gonna save this guy from being beat up. And my buddy goes, it's not worth it. Come in the car, let me tell you something. So I walk back, I'm still looking at the fight, and I walk back and I sit in the car and my buddy goes, dude, if you go into that fight, they're gonna both stop fighting each other and they're gonna start fighting you. And I thought about it for a second. I'm like, shit, you're right. They would start fighting me because that's their fight. That's not my fight. What the hell am I gonna do about it? I'm gonna get beat up. And it made me think about how that relates to addiction, because think about it. There's a battle that's raging in your mind right now between good and evil. And they're fighting on the battlefield that is your mind. And aren't we like that person who just runs in the middle of that fight being like, hey guys, stop it, stop it. Or like taking sides in the war. But instead, they turn around and they look at you and they start beating you up, putting guilt and shame and pain on you. Whether it's the good side or the bad side, they both attack you because you messed in their battle. This happened to me for years and years. I always felt like there was this battle that raged in me, that there was an imbalance that was going inside my soul. Until I realized the solution. Just give up. Literally give up. Just give up fighting. Because that's not your fight. That's not your fight. Listen to my buddy's advice. That couple, good and evil, they're gonna continuously fight. They're gonna fight, they're gonna fist fight to the death. But you, if you get into that middle of the fight, you're gonna get beat up. So you might as well get back in the car, pull out some popcorn, and start eating it. And I mean, seriously though, how many times have we felt like we said, oh, I should go do this? That's probably a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a bad thing. That's a good thing. We start labeling things as good and bad. And we start saying, oh, I should do this. I should do that. But if you keep doing that, you give your thoughts too much power. Because thoughts are just meant to come into your head and go away. Like a cloud. A thought is supposed to come into your head. Oh, I should probably push that person off the bridge. You don't hold on to that thought, bro. You let it go, because that's a messed up thought. I was judging right there. But the more you try to label thoughts as good and bad, oh, I should do this, oh, I shouldn't do this, you start taking sides in that fight. You start getting in the middle of that battle, which isn't yours. And when you get in the middle of that battle, you're gonna get beat up. You're gonna feel like shit. And when you feel like shit, what happens? You run to your addiction. How many times do I say, when you feel bad, you run to your addiction? So what is the cure? You have to feel good. And how do you feel good? Don't get involved in the fight. It's not your battle. Stop saying I should do that, or that's good, that's bad. Nonsense. It never works, man. It never works. So what can you do instead? Give the battle to God. Give the battle to God. Like, imagine that you're playing a game of 2-on-2, right? A little game of 2-on-2 basketball. You have two of the biggest bullies, right? They're both the biggest bullies in high school. Those two bullies versus you. And guess who's on your team? LeBron James. Who do you think is going to win that basketball game? Think about it. If you're going against two high school bullies, do you really think that they can go up against an NBA star that has beaten everybody? That's the same exact thing with God. When you give your battle, when you have the battle, that temptation inside your mind, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? When you have these doubts, when you have this anger or whatever is going on inside your mind, when you have that, you toss the ball to God. You toss it like you're passing a basketball to God. All that anxiety, all that frustration, that battle that's going in your head, pass the ball to God. And I promise you, when you give that ball to God, He'll give you a victory. God was victorious from the very beginning. His name is victory. He is the winner. He is peace. He is love. He is the greatest winner of all time. So if you give the ball to God, He will get you the victory every single time. Your enemy, your addiction can't win anymore. Your negativity, your shame, your guilt, it can't win anymore because you're bundling it all up into a ball and you're tossing it to God. And when God has the ball, he's gonna slam dunk victory into your life, but you have to let go of the ball. That's the hardest thing sometimes. We look at the two people fighting, just like I did, and we wanna go help them. We wanna go save somebody. But instead, we get beat up, we get hurt. We wanna take that game-winning shot, but instead, we lose. Whenever we face a battle, sometimes we have to just give that to God. God wants us to rely on him. He loves us so much. He's like, dude, you can't do it by yourself. Let me help you. But we hold on to shame. We hold on to guilt. Not because we want to, but because we think we deserve it. And when we think we deserve something, man, we hold on to it for so long because we think we deserve it. And I'm not just saying it's you. I've done this for years, man. 3 years I was holding on to pain because I felt like I deserved it for hurting someone that I shouldn't have hurt in the first place. I felt like I deserved it. I took the ball and I tossed it to God. I tossed it away. I gave the ball to God and he gave me victory. He gave me peace. He gave me joy. He forgave me when I didn't deserve forgiveness. But it was up to me to decide if I had to give him the ball or not. Because I could have stayed very well in pain. I could have just kept the ball. I could have kept the ball and I could have lost the game for us. Like, think about how much pressure you were going to be in if there's 3 seconds left in a football game or a basketball game, right? Or just like any video game that you're playing, if there's 3 seconds left in the game, pressure is on you. Like, if you didn't do this one thing, you are going to lose it for the entire team. That's a lot of pressure. But if you pass that ball to Michael Jordan, if you pass that ball to LeBron, if you pass that ball to the winning teammate, the one who can do it, the one who can guarantee you a victory, bro, you are in a world of freedom. You are going to get freedom. You are going to get victory. So I promise you, next time you feel temptation, the next time you feel scared, the next time you feel like you need to label things good or bad, or I should do this or I shouldn't do this, stop. Stop it. Give up. Don't do this. This is not your battle anymore. This is not your fight. Your addiction is not your fight anymore. It's God's fight. And if you give your addiction to God, if you give your problems to God, he'll give you victory. You just got to pass that ball, man. You just got to pass that ball. Get rid of your pride. Just pass the ball to God. It's not your battle anymore, man. God wants his battle back. Give his battle back. And you will get victory. Forgive yourself. Pass the ball, man. You got this. Pass that ball.